This story is going to show that a lie can actually save your life. In the early 1990s, a 19-year-old girl that we're going to call Allie was going to visit her brother and his new wife up in Baltimore. Now, she was from Maryland, but hadn't really ever been to the city, so she wasn't very familiar with it. While she was driving through the city, she would turn down a road and immediately realized that she had gotten lost. She had turned onto Martin Luther King Boulevard, which had a bunch of boarded up houses and abandoned gas stations and just some sketchy looking bars. In the middle of the street, there were several people walking around drinking out of paper bags. And Allie decided, you know what, instead of freaking out more and getting more lost, I'm just going to pull into this abandoned gas station where I see a bank of payphones and give my brother a call and see if he can help me out. She would call her brother, who was pretty impatient at first because he knew the city very well and just found it really inconvenient to really give her directions. But he would give her directions, and as she was writing them down, she noticed something out of the corner of her eye. When she looked over, she saw 3 men that were leaning up against her car, 2 on the passenger side and 1 leaned up against the driver door. She would start silently crying, but she was still sniffling, and her brother heard this and said, "Why are you crying? I'm giving you directions." And she couldn't tell him because they were within earshot and they would hear what she was telling her brother. After she got all the directions from her brother, she would hang up the phone and she would turn towards those guys and start walking towards the car. And while she did this, she just started crying more and more. And one of the guys would look at her and say, "Baby, why are you crying? Nothing bad's happened yet." She would take a deep breath and respond, "I just killed my boyfriend. I'm in a lot of trouble. The cops are." And before she even finished that statement, those 3 men around her car would all sprint off in opposite directions, allowing her to be able to get back to her car safely. She would get in her car, kind of compose herself real quick, and immediately leave Martin Luther King Boulevard. After leaving Martin Luther King Boulevard, by following her brother's directions, she didn't get lost again, and she safely arrived at her brother's. But what would have happened if she had not thought up that one little lie that very possibly saved her life that night?